My name is Carl Steigerwald. In this session, we're going to take a look at annuities. The takeaways. What is an annuity? Annuity versus life insurance. How do they compare? How do they stack up? Who are the parties to our annuity? What are the mechanics of the annuity? What are the working pieces that make the annuity function? The annuity got to be one of the simplest contracts out there. When you look at the dynamics of the annuity, it's kind of like a savings account with tax-favored status, and that's what we're going to take a look at here today. Annuities, they're designed to provide monetary safeguarding, if you will. They're providing monthly retirement income. When I first got into this industry many, many years ago, one of my mentors in the industry said to me, the only money that's going to be there for you when you get to retirement is the money you telegraph into the future. If you don't send it, don't expect it. Well, one of the vehicles that we have access to in the insurance industry that can assist with telegraphing that money into the future is an annuity. One of the things that's interesting, when I first started, again, I apologize for digressing like this, but people's greatest fear was dying too soon. Today, as you sit here watching this, people's greatest fear is living too long and outliving their money. One of the vehicles we have access to that can assist them in this arena is the annuity. The earnings in the annuity grow tax deferred. In other words, the tax is put off until later. You're not taxed on this money until you physically take custody of this money. This is purchased, the annuity is purchased, just in case we live too long. It's kind of an interesting statement when you think about it. Annuity versus life insurance. On the annuity side, we have financial protection against living too long. We can use this to liquidate estate asset issues. We can take care of pretty much anything we need to take care of. And the beauty part of the annuity, you do not have to provide any evidence of insurability. It's designed for benefits to be paid to the annuitant or the owner. It is issued to the annuitant. The idea here is that if we've got somebody who's looking for a way to make money available or to supplement a retirement income, an annuity is a fantastic way to go. The life insurance contract is designed to protect against premature death. It creates an estate, but keep in mind, we have to provide evidence of insurability, and it's designed for a death benefit to be paid to a named beneficiary. It's issued to an insured. Who are the parties to the annuity? Well, first up, we've got the money person. We've got the person who buys this. This would be the owner. Oftentimes, the owner will be the annuitant. They're going to be the recipient of the money as well. The insurance company is the issuer of this contract. They are the ones who are making it available. Again, the annuitant is often the owner, and they would be the recipient of the income when the money starts to come back out of this annuity. The beneficiary, in the event that the annuitant should die prior to full distribution of proceeds, then the beneficiary would be in a position to receive money in the event of the death of the annuitant. Keep in mind, the beneficiary in this situation, unlike life insurance, is subject to certain issues where there can be income tax liability on the distribution of these proceeds. When we look at the annuity, we look at the mechanics of the annuity. And really, the mechanics of the annuity are incredibly simple. There are two periods of time that we have to take into consideration. We have the accumulation period, money in. We have the annuity period, money out. Really, really very easy. Money in versus money out. When we are looking at the mechanics, we also need to look at how are we funding this annuity. We can fund an annuity with a single premium payment, one and done. Or what we see most often is periodic payments being made over an extended period of time to fund this annuity. Money's paid into the annuity over the extended period of time. Interest is credited to this annuity on a tax-deferred basis, and distributions will be coming out of it based on what money goes in. As far as annuitization, this is the money coming out, money out. We have immediate annuities. They are funded with a single premium and start to pay out right away. Or we have deferred annuities, where we can establish the annuity in our younger years or even at an earlier date, doesn't have to be younger years, and then start taking money out at some later date in time, something that we determine is going to be a good place for us to start receiving distributions, usually for the purpose of funding a retirement income. The immediate annuity, again, this is where we have an income stream that begins shortly after the purchase. We usually have a single premium payment that's made into this annuity, and then money starts coming out immediately, right away. Where we see this used frequently is in the distribution of lottery proceeds, retirement income, or structured insurance settlements. Deferred annuities, on the other hand, we have money that goes in to the money bucket, if you will. We have tax-deferred interest that is paid in on top of that, and then we see distributions coming out at some later date in time. Fixed annuities. The funds invested into the fixed annuity are put in with the general asset fund of the insurance company. The insurance company guarantees a minimum interest rate that is going to be paid on this annuity. There's also the possibility of a current rate that is going to be paid on this annuity as well. The idea here is that if the current rate is greater than the minimum interest rate, then you will receive the current rate. If the minimum interest rate is greater than the current rate, then you will receive the minimum. It is important to note, anyone who has ever bought and kept a fixed annuity has never lost money. This annuity will provide a fixed stream of income guaranteed in the future for the annuitant owning this particular contract. If we're looking at a variable annuity, now we're in a position where the investment is going to be done differently. When you place your money into this program, it is going to be placed into a separate account. Now we orchestrate the divestment of these funds into separate sub-accounts, which are treated again like mutual funds. There is no guarantee on the investments here. Now the owner bears the risk for all of the performance issues relative to where the investment strategies have been set up. Interest here is still tax deferred and will not be subject, if there is interest that is growing here, it will not be subject to taxation until it's withdrawn. Be advised, if you're selling a variable annuity, you have to hold both your state insurance license for life insurance and a FINRA securities registration as well. One of the new kids on the block, something that is really not a new kid on the block, but seems to have taken on a life of its own and has a lot of people very interested, is something called an equity indexed annuity. This is a type of fixed annuity where the interest in this annuity is credited to the annuity, and it's tied to the growth of a specific stock index. So it could be something like the S&P 500. And then based on the performance of that stock index, that will be the interest credited into the equity indexed annuity. The beauty part of the equity indexed annuity, once interest has been credited into this annuity, it cannot be lost due to market return on investment. Once it's yours, it's yours. Unlike the fixed annuity, in the fixed annuity, we had kind of a shotgun approach to investing. In the equity indexed annuity, we have the rifle shot approach to investing. Here we stand the chance of having a greater return on investment, but we have the safeguards of the fixed annuity as well. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, if you will. Life income options. Now what we're looking at is we're looking at the idea of money coming out of the annuity. We're pulling money back out of this annuity again. If we take a life income option, there are several different ways that this can be done. We can do straight or pure life income. A straight life annuity income option provides annuity payments to the annuitant for as long as the annuitant lives. Keep in mind, what you're asking here is you're asking the insurance company to bear the risk of paying money out to somebody for the rest of their life. Nobody knows exactly how long a person is going to live. So the insurance company here is bearing the transfer of risk back to themselves and then promising that they're going to pay a life income to this individual. The insurance company asks one more thing in this situation, though. When you transfer the risk to us, you also have to transfer money control to us. Keep in mind that once the individual that is being covered on this life income option passes away, any further proceeds will not be paid out to anyone, and the life insurance company maintains control over that money. It now belongs to the company. No further payments are going to be made on this annuity. We have another process that we can use as well. It's a life income option, but it provides for a little bit more of a safeguarding. It's your joint and survivor life income. This one pays until the second or the last person dies. Here we have a little bit more of an assurance that there's money that's going to be paid out for a longer period of time. However, keep in mind that when we look for more money to be paid out, we're not going to see as great a monthly distribution. Risk versus reward. Meaning, if you as the consumer are more willing to take on a risk, we as your insurance company will pay you a greater reward. Since this one is seemingly less risky to you as the consumer, you are not going to receive as large a monthly payment in this distribution. But again, once that second person dies, if the full value of the annuity has not been distributed, the insurance company retains the balance of the undistributed funds in this situation. We have another situation where we can take what is called a period certain or fixed dollar distribution from the annuity. Here, we do not look at age, we do not look at sex. They're not factors to determine size of the payment, only the money and the interest that has been accumulated. Period certain annuities, 10 years certain, 20 years certain. What are we telling you? It's really quite simple. We will give you a set amount of money every month until the full amount of the money in your annuity has been distributed over the course of the next 10 years or the next 20 years. Annuity payments are typically paid out on a monthly basis. So if you have a 10-year certain, that means that there will be 120 distributions being paid out of this annuity. A 20-year certain, therefore, would be 240 distributions paid out of this annuity. We have fixed dollar annuities. Here what we're doing is we're saying, I need to make up a certain amount of money for every month because I'm no longer working, I'm in retirement, and I was in the expectation of having this much money coming in from what I was earning. So now I want the annuity to make up for the income stream I'm no longer earning through an employment situation. So the fixed dollar annuity will pay out a certain amount per month based on an amount established by the annuitant. How much do you want every month? The idea here is we can pretty much set it up to expect a check every month that's going to be the exact same amount and use it as a replacement for the income that we had been earning ourselves. We have a combination of the best of both worlds. Here we would have life income with minimum 15-year period certain as an example. Now what we've done is we've taken that 15-year period certain and we've also tied in a life income option. So what exactly does that mean? That means that in a life income with 15 years certain, or life income with 10, or life income with 20, whatever you choose, whatever that number is for the year, you will not receive fewer than that many years worth of distribution from this annuity. In the event that the annuitant were to die prior to meeting that annual requirement, 15 years, 10 years, whatever it is, the balance of the years left would be paid to a beneficiary. In the event that our annuitant lives beyond this time frame, then they will continue to receive monthly payments until they die. So again, the reference here is best of both worlds. We basically have both things tied together here, and it works very well for the annuitant. Surrendering an annuity, in the event that we decide for whatever reason that we're going to surrender this annuity, if we're doing it during the accumulation period or the money in period, the non-forfeiture value is going to be paid to the annuitant. There are surrender charges that can apply in decreasing amounts over a period of time. Typically at the very early onset of the annuity, we will see surrender charges that will be applicable in decreasing amounts. So you may see that in the first year it'll be a set percentage, the next year it goes down 1%, the next year down 1%, the next year down 1%, and that'll be over the course of time until it inevitably zeroes out. This is called a back-end load in the annuity. A lot of the annuities that we have available to the consumer also provide a bailout provision. What's a bailout provision? It's a safeguard. In the event something happens and you are not really ecstatic about the idea of the insurance company doing the investing and you're worried that if they don't do a good job, you're going to be stuck? No, you're not. We'll allow you to bail out. You will not be subject to any surrender charges should the interest rate being credited to your annuity drop below a certain percentage rate. This bailout provision would be something provided by the insurance company as a safety net for you to give you some assurances that they are going to do their level best to make sure that they are investing to the best of your interest. They want to make sure they're taking very good care of you, and in the event you feel that they're not, you've got the option to bail out of the annuity. Income tax on your annuity? During the accumulation period, tax-deferred growth within the account. Should the individual pull money out of this account prior to age 59 and a half, they'll be subject to a 10% penalty. The annuity is treated the same as the modified endowment contract. It's LIFO, last in, first out. The idea here is that if you pull the money out of this annuity, interest out first. And you cannot access your contributions until all of the interest has been distributed. During the annuity period, the money out period, we are now at a point in time where we have to determine how much of each distribution coming out is a return of our principal, which has already been taxed, and how much of each distribution coming out is a return of interest. Here we encounter something called the exclusion ratio. This ratio is a formula that has been established by the IRS, and the exclusion ratio is exactly what it says it is. How much of each distribution is excluded from taxation? That amount is a return of your principal. Anything else is a return of interest and will be taxable as income to the recipient of those proceeds. The chart you see in front of you will give you a classification of annuities, showing you the different types of annuities and payout options available on these annuities. For recap, what is an annuity? It is a vehicle we can use to telegraph money into our foreseeable future and to take care of ourselves in retirement. The annuity versus life insurance. Life insurance provides an income upon the death of the insured to a named beneficiary. The annuity is specifically designed to take care of the individual while they're still alive. The parties to the annuity, again, we have the owner, we have the annuitant, we have the beneficiary. The mechanics of the annuity, really simple, folks. Money in versus money out. Thanks for your time.